Alright, we're back. So, here we are, Twilight Princess, pretty great game, yada 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 yada. And, here we are in the Goron Mines. So, we gotta switch step on. All in all, the Goron Mines is a pretty simple dungeon once you get right down to it, so I think I want to make this video about a few kind of loose, unrelated topics that have been kind of things that kind of been, I don't know how you say, like, just been on my mind lately. One of the first ones I really want to talk about is another game entirely, Devil May Cry 2, rather, to be specific. Now, I start by saying I never played Devil May Cry 2. In fact, I've only ever played Devil May Cry 5. That's my experience with the series, but, you know, specifically what I want to talk about is another YouTuber, Matthew Matosis. You probably heard of him. I'm actually subscribed to him if you want to tell. Maybe you can tell. I think it's great. I think he's, like, really, you know, he makes a lot of really excellent points. And, like, I don't always agree with him, but I do always understand where he's coming from. So I think that he makes some really, really excellent videos. But, so just yesterday, in fact, I was watching one of his older videos. Mega Micro Videos 2, it was called. And in that one, he had a brief section on Devil May Cry 2 and talking about, it's like he wanted to make this sort of defense of Devil May Cry 2, talking about the unsung good parts about it that nobody talks about, but in the end just was like, oh my god, this game is awful. Like, that's the thing, crud, I have to introduce a new enemy. Red Tektites, they're sort of like water skimmers. They can jump on the water, they can float, they can get in your way that way, but they're not that difficult. Oh, there's a chest down there. But yeah, anyway, so here's Matthew Matosis talking about Devil May Cry 2, and he ended the section with something really interesting. That, you know, the weird beauty of Devil May Cry 1 basically inventing an entirely new genre, and then its own sequel nearly killing the franchise. It's like, there's something incredible about that. And he says that Devil May Cry 2 is worth playing even for how awful it is, because, you know, number one, it's just fascinating to see that kind of historical perspective of how, you know, how we can go from such a competently made game like Devil May Cry 1 to such an incompetently made game like Devil May Cry 2. It's just impressive. But, you know, it also has value in the sense that every game kind of is like Devil May Cry 2 at some point in development. You know, even the best games of all time have that point where they're barely playable, where they're just, like, awful in every way, and, like, and it's like, how in the world can anyone enjoy this? Like, every single game ever made has grown to that point, including some of the best games ever made. And the thing is, it's like, as you know, what sets Devil May Cry 2 apart from those games is that Devil May Cry 2 was released in that state, whereas all those other games weren't. I always love doing the jump in midair, you know, being pulled upwards in the middle of a jump. I don't know why, it feels cool. But yeah, so it's like, Devil May Cry 2 is just interesting in that sense, because it's like, you know, this is what, you know, it's not special in the sense that every game has been like it at some point. It is special in that it was released, even though it is the way it is, but I'm not sure. I'm saying this because, like, I have my eyes on the Devil May Cry HD collection right now. I want to play it. And you know, it's like a sort of texture pack for Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. So it's like, if I ever do get to play it, I'll have a chance to play Devil May Cry 2 and see for myself how interesting it is, we'll say. Okay. I just wanted to take a brief pause to let you know that here I am, on to the future, here to say that I have at last played Devil May Cry 2, and yes, it is actually as bad as everyone says it is. No, scratch that. It's even worse than everyone says it is. And yes, you absolutely need to play it. Okay, just wanted to get that out there, and back to your regularly scheduled Twilight Princess. another mechanic in the Goron Mines. These blue diamond switches, you hit them and... Wait. Stupid cutscene. Yeah, and then they'll activate and change things. We also have another new enemy in this room. The Beamos, it's called. They're not friendly. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, don't stop playing the music just yet. Beamos shoot lasers at you. And if I can get to show it... They're completely immune to all damage. You cannot attack them, you cannot kill them. At least not yet. There's a way, but... It's not that, but we don't have that way. So, yeah, you're in trouble if you want to fight these guys. Friendly word of advice. Don't. Fortunately we can avoid them, so not a problem. So yeah, it's like... That got me thinking, it's like, what other games are there like that? Games are like so bad that they're actually worth playing. Just to, you know, not only just see how bad they are, but to see... just what it takes to really release a game like that. Like, what needs to go wrong in order to make a game like Devil May Cry 2 exist, or what other games are there like that? And I mean like shovelware games, you know. Ah, hey. I misinterpreted my notes. I thought that this piece of code would be a lot further in the dungeon than it actually was, but I guess, you know, it's like, I've played games that I've thoroughly not enjoyed before, but I wouldn't say that they're, you know, extremely unfinished. They're definitely, like, they were definitely finished products, it's just that I don't like them. So it's like, I don't think I've ever really played a game like Devil May Cry 2, one that's just so obviously unfinished, that it's like, how in the world can anyone enjoy this? I don't know. A few other topics that were on my mind, and Okay. That was my dad. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to go on this whole angry rant about how it's like, you know, I put a sign on the door. Do you know how to read? Something like that. But it just made me laugh. That's a nice feeling though. It's like you want to be angry, but it's whatever made you angry is just too funny. I love that feeling. Yeah. And I lost my train of thought, but what was I gonna talk about? I was gonna talk about something else, and I forgot it. I wouldn't say these guys are dangerous, but like I said earlier, this is a Zelda game. Come on, you can't even hit me. Look, a quarter of a heart. Oh no. However, will you survive these really inaccurate shots? Alright, well there's something. You know, I just realized there's only 2 heart pieces in a dungeon, and I just got the second one. So yeah, that's kind of it for this dungeon. In terms of like missable hidden collectibles that you might want to find. Here comes, oh, small key. All right, and then there's a door on the other side. So, what was I talking about? But I had something I wanted to say. I was like talking about... Okay, I was talking about like... You know, if I have a devil may... Okay, now I remember. Let's talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake for a while. My brother just finished the game, you see. And, you know, I finished it well before him, so we both finished the game. I've played the original. I think it's, you know... I think it's a pretty great game all around, but, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit overpraised. It's like... You know, I don't think it's this untouchable masterpiece like it's kind of been remembered as, but... I mean, number one, for its time, it is certainly something special to behold, and I think it holds up pretty well nowadays, too, but, that being said, it's not flawless. Come in here and we've got another Goron Elder. Oh, the young human. I am pleased to see you make it this far, brother. Brother. I am one of the 4 elders of the Goron tribe. I am called Goron Mines. You refer to the plight of our patriarch, otherwise you would not have come to see me. Here, take this, brother. Now, there is one more shard, but seeing you has reminded me of the dangers that line the path to it. There is something that may help you. A weapon said to have been left in this mine by a hero of old. It is beyond price, and so we protected it through generations. Now, when our tribe balances on the brink of ruin, it could aid in our salvation. The hero's weapon is stored safely up ahead. Talk to the guard and take it with you, with the blessing of the Gorons. Alright, so it looks like we're about to get something new, something special. But yeah, anyway. So, as for my brother, he never played the original, so he doesn't have any sort of attachment to it, you can say. For him, it's like an important piece of gaming history, but random battles suck too much for him to want to play. That's pretty much all there is to it. And, you know, honestly, I don't blame him. They're pretty frustrating. Okay. So, anyway, when it came time to play the remake, there was me, someone who couldn't help but have this big, stupid grin on my face as I was, you know, fighting the Hell House, or going through Wall Market, or, you know, getting to see the Honeybee in its true HD glory, all that good stuff. And then there's my brother, who doesn't have that sort of familiarity with the original. For him, they're nothing special. He's never gotten to experience them. And that's led to some interesting topics of conversation, particularly about like the story and especially about the ending. I don't want to get into spoilers here, but when they put remake of Final Fantasy VII right in the title, they're lying. It's not a remake at all. It is something so completely different. And I want to say that there's actually something special about that. It's like, we live in a time where there's some new remake of pretty much anything coming out all the time. It's like originality is rapidly becoming a thing of the past, and for Final Fantasy VII to just suddenly, you know, simultaneously be a remake of a beloved game and something completely new and out there at the same time is just really, really something. But I can't help but say that, you know, if I were to be honest, it did not stick the landing at all. Its story, the way it goes about with its whole meta commentary, which I just love. I love meta commentaries; they're my favorite. And of course the ending, it didn't work for me at all. It can't help but just kind of feel like a slap in the face for the original as well. And in the way it is sort of a slap in the face for the fans, it's sort of like saying, I guess without getting into spoilers, Final Fantasy VII Remake is basically telling fans that, you know, in an uncharitable way, that they suck, and that it's like you're hamstring creators and not letting them do what they want to do. You should just let us tell the stories we want to tell. I want to keep talking about this, but don't you love how disorganized my videos always are? I should fix that. I want to say it's some learning process, but it's more like I'm just too lazy to script videos. Anyway, we have our mini-boss here. This guy's not that tricky. As you can see, he can actually attack through your shield. That's not good. But you can actually, when he goes to wind up his attacks, just simply slice him in the belly a few times. He'll roll up, but then you can just simply block him. You know, you can simply throw him like you do one of the Gorons that we were fighting as we made our way up Death Mountain. And yeah, throw him off. Kind of like Super Mario 64, actually. The way you fight Bowser in that game. Yeah. Wait. I think I beat him before he could hit me. Yeah, I don't think I took any damage from that. Yeah, you can't attack him whenever, he'll just block you. I think one more I'll do the trick. Oh, crud, no. Dang it. There we go. We went. Ugh, that hurt a lot. Who knew that humans were capable of such feats of strength? Maybe you are going to see the patriarch of our tribe? Ah, so that is why you are here. In that case, take the weapon of the hero of the past. But in exchange, you must save the patriarch of our tribe. So, there we go. You know, on the subject of remakes, actually, there's like kind of going on about, you know, everything's just being remade these days. At E3, Nintendo announced this sort of weird Game & Watch thing for that can play Zelda 1 and 2, the original Link to the Past, or Link's Awakening, and what else was it? And yeah, some old Game & Watch game that features Link as the playable character. As well as that, there was some talk about Skyward Sword HD. And yeah, it's like there's plenty of Zelda remakes coming up, and I mean, of course, talk about Breath of the Wild 2, but that's not a remake, that's a sequel. Of course, that kind of fits in with the whole end of originality thing. It's like, you know, they could have made something completely new, but instead they just expanded on Breath of the Wild. You know, the nice part I want to say, it's like a sort of apology to fans because the original Breath of the Wild took so long to make. Like, it was in the news for years and years, but you know, there was basically no announcements of it until E3 2016, but that's nice. So it's like, you know, they can make a sequel, they can reuse all the same assets from before, and it shouldn't take nearly as much time or resources as Breath of the Wild 1 took. That's what I want to say, but let's just say this. I got the Goron's bow. That's not what I wanted to talk about. And, well, let's talk about this now. Goodbye, slingshot. We will never be needing that thing again. That's not entirely true, but yeah, the bow is basically just a slingshot, but better. Huh. Enemies will drop arrows now. You can use those to refill your quiver. It doesn't really make sense, but hey, it works. That kind of gets back to the whole Zelda games are too eager to give you resources. And there you go, that's a simple way of, that's the whole thing I was talking about earlier. You know, the simplest possible puzzle they can give you with that item to kind of get you to understand how it works. Of course, bows are a real-life weapon. They're not some weird abstract thing that Zelda made up for the sake of solving puzzles. Boomerangs kind of aren't that. Boomerangs are real-life weapons too, but they're different in the sense that, you know, it's a Gale boomerang, not just a regular old boomerang. So, we walk into this room, and I think you've seen this before. Thanks. Fortunately, we now have a way of dealing with these guys. You hit their red eye, and that'll kill them instantly. But anyway, as I was saying before, Breath of the Wild 2 looks a bit too familiar to certain things that happened before. Do you remember when it wasn't called Breath of the Wild but was Zelda Wii U or Zelda NX? Do you remember when do you remember when the trailer for Twilight Princess HD came out and then at the end they stuck on this this teaser thing for Breath of the Wild saying 2016, like that was at just 2016 and then it became 2017? Oh, if we're going back here, I'm gonna bet that that's where the last Goron Elder is. Just a hunch, but we'll see. Yep. Ah, you are here at last. I heard that you might pay a visit, young human. I am farsighted in all things. Here you go, the last key shard. Combine all 3 shards. You collected all 3 key shards and completed the big key. Hurry to the boss. If you use that key, you can open the room where Darbus, the tribal patriarch, is being held. Who knows how powerful Darbus is in his new grotesque form. But I suppose I should trust your power, considering you came this far. Hurry now, to the patriarch's room. No, we don't have a lot of dungeon left to go. I guess I want to finish these thoughts about Breath of the Wild 2 and then move on. So yeah, anyway, I will say that what they've shown in Breath of the Wild 2 looks extremely promising, but do you remember a time when it was... When it wasn't Breath of the Wild, it was Zelda NX or Zelda Wii U, and it's like we were hungrily grasping any information we can get on this game. And most of all, do you remember when it was just 2016? It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a specific date in 2016, just sometime in 2016, we promise. I'm getting that vibe all over again. And it's like, I don't want to be pessimistic here, but it's like, you know, the trailer ends with 2022. No specific date, just 2022. And it's like, you know, I guess it is nice of them to make you know, not constantly be making promises that they probably can't keep, but, it's like, I want a bit more than just 2022 here. Like, it's gonna be early 2022, late 2022, sometime in the summer of 2022, like, what is it? Give me something here. I don't know. And yeah, it's like, we don't have a subtitle for this game yet. It's just Breath of the Wild 2 now. It's been that way ever since 2019, and it's still that way. It's like we got a trailer finally giving us something a bit more than just, it's gonna be some dark, edgy story. But, it's like, what else is there gonna be? Well, you know, what else they're gonna be gonna run on the Sky of Hyrule, of course. But, you know, I can't help but feel like we've been here before. That's the problem I have. Anyway, I also want to talk about the compass. It's like, oh, crud. No. Fudge. I'm too beautiful to die. These guys genuinely terrify me. Like, they shouldn't, but they do. Anyway, I think that about wraps it for today. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there about various subjects, kind of go through some more. Next time on Twilight Princess, we'll finally be making our way to Darbus's room and solving this whole crisis once and for all. See you guys then.